So we're just going to chap around 5-10 minutes before the Machon begin their beautiful learning together with Rabbi Bornstein, Dr. Bornstein. It's amazing. What a schus we have every Sunday to begin the week, Yom Rishon, with the new energy in the kollel here in Shirat David and Efrat, and we have beautiful friends and chevra. So one of the beautiful things that came out Shabbos, just to bring the new light of Avraham Avinu in the Pasha, Lech Lecha. We see already the end of Parshas Noach, we see Avraham there. So BORUCH with Shlomo went into that Nakuda through the Hasheloach, and I have actually brought the Sefer in. I actually kind of did it for my son, Aaron Yosef, but he won't mind. He went home. Anyway, but the idea that there's 10 joyous from Noach until Avraham, 10 generations, and there was 10 generations before that from Adam till Noach. The difference is that there's a slightly different lashon when it says Kol Echad Vayichi V'yikol Yemei. He uses a different lashon. So the concept that Rav Shlomo brought down is that the nafkamina was between the 10 generations from Adam to Noach was the Indian of Tzaddik and the Indian of passing over Sidkus, and the 10 generations from Noach until Avraham Avinu was an Indian of passing over Chochmah, and it's a different kind of transition. Having children who are Tzaddikim is a level. It says in the Pasuk in Mishlei, Gil Ya Gil Avi Sadik, the rejoice the father of the Sadik, Riyaled Chacham Yismach Bo, and when you give birth to a Chacham, you will rejoice in him. Yeah. So this is big chizzuk for us, because obviously we want children who are Tzaddikim. But there's something slightly different happening in our generation. I'm going to touch this up a little bit myself now. That, for example, this Shabbos day we had a kiddush. There was 3 families there, as well as Rav Shlomo came by, Rav Shlomo Katz and his wife, his representative, and there was the Abelos, the I don't know if they want their name out, another family, and myself, yeah. And the other family hosted it, and it wasn't because anyone else was rejected. It just worked out. This is the kiddush, and all the families have children of in Lebanon or in Gaza. And my son was giving a big shout out to one of the families because their son was the drone operator in Gaza. Once again, they don't want their name put fastened. There was a drone operator that found Cinema, and my son's kids. What's it called? Yeah, Wisham. Ketzan, what's it called? Ketzan? No, I'm getting the word wrong. My son's commander, who taught him and 8 months in Gaza, is now the commander of that drone operator. So my son knows firsthand, he's very close with him. His name is Schwartz. He taught the son of our friend's family how to use he's involved with that, how to become a fakir, how to, maybe not the drone operator, but how to help him go up his next level in the army. And they were part of that unit that found cinema, as well as another friend of my son. And they said that this son refused to be in any of the pictures. And he did his avoda, he didn't want any covered for any honor, and that's why we're not mentioning the name. But the point is that the new generation of soldiers,
Dan made my son up in the sukkah that night.
Yeah, no, he mentioned it that night, and it was videoed and put online, and it got taken down. He only did it because Shlomo asked him, and it was only amongst the Kehillah. Beyond that, he didn't want anyone to know.
It's impressive.
Yeah, because I was videoing it, so he told me don't share that with anyone. He wanted it just for the community because they were close, and it wasn't for the sake of honor.
Family.
It was the sake of inspiration. I would say personally that sharing it beyond is also inspiration. He doesn't want the world knowing about his son and everything. I understand that. No, my father even said to me, don't let the media interview your son until the war's over. And it's probably very wise, what my father said. But anyway, there's a new awe with our children, like all of them. Even if your son's not a soldier, but he has a new chokhmah, a new wisdom. Maybe he's not the biggest son. Yeah, my son would say the same thing about himself. Yeah, having joyous, keeping Shabbos, this, that. It's hard. Yeah, when you've been in the army for a year, a unit, and you're the only person come out keeping Yiddishkeit, and it can get very tested. Fine, he had the shofar in Rosh Hashanah, he shook a lulav on Sukkot, he's trying his best to keep Shabbos the best he can now with the nisyonis and the emotional situation. He really is trying really hard, and he came to learn with me the other day, Mincha, and Baruch Hashem L'Kut Maran, and he was Mechazik, and there's a new awe. they're coming out with new musagim, of understandings of the well-being, of the nefesh, of the soul level. They're not wanting any of the system, we see this with our children, and there's a theme amongst all our kids. They don't want the shekel system. They're not willing to just fit in for the sake of shidduchim.
I say this over all the time in your name. That you said that, and I like that, and I believe it. The kids are not off the derech. The teachers are off the derech.
And even if the teachers seemingly are not off the derech, they're not emestic enough for the children.
I'm saying
the children want the emes.
That is.
And that's it, nothing else. That's the chokhmah, this new chokhmah that Avraham Avinu, and that's yismach
that is off the derech. Meaning, if people look like they're doing the right thing, but not with emet, then that's pretty much off the derech.
Right, I hear.
Off Hashem's derech, right?
Yeah,
He wants it with emet.
I always try to keep the derech very big, personally, because I don't want to judge anyone. That's my path. My voda is, how can I be there for my son and definitely not judge him? How can I give him a path of chokhmah and renewal in his journey that he's going to be able to have the expanded consciousness, and then he's going to be able to communicate to the world, so the world can understand Klal Yisrael in our generation with all they have to do. They're going to have to fight, and they're going to have to kill, and they're going to have to do things that previous generation didn't want to do.
All these soldiers are going to be the next generation rabbis.
They are, and they already are becoming our rebbes. Shlomo Katz says these are the rebbes of our door now. We learned from them. I bought BORUCH because Shlomo left just before my son came, and because he came a bit later. So I brought my son to his house, and he couldn't believe that my son was thanking him for the chizzuk he got, Simchas Torah and everything else. He said, look at this guy. This soldier's thanking me. He's in Lebanon 3 times already. He's been in Gaza for 11 months. I should be he's thanking me. I should be thanking. But that's the point. We're all together in this. And the point is that we need, as Shlomo said, to shine out all the goyim. We have to shine out a new consciousness, and that's Avraham Avinu's path. That's why Hashem was truly happy with Avraham Avinu, not with Noach. Noach was old school. He was a tzaddik, fine, very good. We have tzaddikim, but to be able to shine out a new consciousness for humanity, that's what's going to bring the world to a new level, and that's what the new generation have that power. Now, where we're going to learn that new consciousness, so we're going to learn it from Svarim like Hasheloach, and we're also going to learn it from our Shir, please God, from Reb Bornstein in Halacha very shortly. We're also going to learn it together when we learn
I didn't hear what the context was.
New consciousness. A new
consciousness.
We're getting a new consciousness.
We're going to learn from people like our
No. Because bringing it into Halacha is very, very important.
All being recorded. It's being broadcasted also? Just recorded?
Yeah, hopefully. Bringing it into Halacha, bringing it into a Beis Midrash, which this is a new place. This wasn't, I came here 2 years ago, it just opened. It wasn't here. Now, a year later we have a Hakohen, and we're learning how to bring all the different parts of Halacha. With you bring Pnimius Torah also, and we're bringing Torah from the Rebbe. The Lubavitcher Rebbe was the Ohr Chadash, was the Ohr of Mashiach. And we're seeing that light coming, elevating our consciousness. And it's big chizzuk. Thank you.
Ellie probably does. You have a charger?
Charger, I only have the seed, sorry. Anyway, 27 in Tanya. We're just going to learn one more shtickle. Jumping 26, we learned about Simcha. We talked about Simcha. We talked about having a goal with Simcha, not allowing the bitterness of the heart to get too overwhelming to the point where it leads to depression. I keep telling my son, you always have to head to the other son, the other one who's more, Hasidish in Yerushalayim. You always have to head towards Simcha. You always have to head towards Ahavas Yisrael with Mesiras Nefesh. And I'm trying to mechazik that inyan with him, because the YITZCHAK, the from YITZCHAK, makes the very from boys have sadness for their Yiddishkeit instead of enjoying it. And so they've got the from YITZCHAK. There's a non-religious one, there's a religious
It's funny
one.
that you've got some children you're trying to like push to the right, and then you've got some children you're trying to not to the left.
Neither right, left.
No, but it's
more
just,
Yiddishkeit or less Yiddishkeit. That's why
it's so interesting to see. Just because someone is super from doesn't mean that's exactly
they need
what
help.
they're supposed to be.
The balance the other way. I'm very hoping that my very, very strong son in Yiddishkeit will do a bit more work, more avoda in the world, and have more balance. And my other son, who's very, in the world right now, will keep every soul and feed his soul. And he admits to that he wants to do that. He knows that he needs to do that. And together there's a balance, and there's a healthy children, and that's the whole thing. We have to do that ourselves as adults, That's why we come in the beginning of the week. We're learning. We're not starting the week only with panasa. And this is going to be a big week, by the way. We're going to have good news, please God, from America.
Aryeh, you could also tell her to call me if she needs something.
So this is the whole sad part that we have to be careful of. If sadness does not stem from anxiety, daigus avonos, the only sadness that's healthy is when we're worried about, hanging out in Tel Aviv too much, or Vegas or whatever. That's the only sadness that that's a healthy one, because we don't want to be in that world, But from the fact that sinful thoughts as I enter his mind, if these thoughts occur to him not during his service of God, but while he's occupied his own affairs with mundane matters and the like, he shall on the contrary be happy in his lot. Although these simple thoughts enter his mind, he averts his attention from them. This is chapter 27, and this is an important cloud, and we're going to get more and more into this concept. We're just touching on it, but we have to have siach das.
At the baseball field, okay? So I went to the baseball field, and I said turkey on it. I said, no one else really uses it. But I took it back, brought it to your house. I said, you know what? I know what it's like.
Wow.
I heard someone.
Shabbos Noach.
I didn't know it was from you, so thank you.
The Simcha Shel Mitzvah, you see? He returned you with Simcha, your bottle. But the idea here is that there's going to be Simcha for Sameach B'Halko. Yeah, this is an important thing. We have to be Sameach in our portion. Yeah, this is so important. My son was giving me chizzuk about it. He sees I have that on some level, because I'm not always wanting all the brands and all the fancy this, fancy that. There's a certain, like in Stavkus, you have to be Sameach B'Halko, but you also, in terms of ruchnius, you should not be Sameach B'Halko. In terms of, like, if your wife needs more things and you're not providing it, you should not be Sameach B'Halko. She's asking you now to step up. And that's where Sameach B'Halko becomes the YITZCHAK. Like everything has to become a tool for Avodas Hashem, and it's about learning how to use the thoughts and the realities we're in effectively to have a happy life. And this is part of the expanded consciousness. Not allow the YITZCHAK to trick us into being happy about our situation if it's not going to help us grow. It's all about how we can, because growth and simcha go together. So when you're sameach with a tzaddik, you're sameach with a shin. When you're growing, sameach, somech, you're growing, you're sameach. When you feel that, when you're growing, the person's growing, is expanding his life, his experiences. He's able to do more mitzvahs, more chesed, more avodah, more tefillah, more Torah. All these things growing, but then you have to know that if it gets to the point where you're sad, you're not pushing yourself enough, and you start focusing on your sins, on the things you're not doing, on your lackings, and it's coming out not just in davening time, but also in times of work where you need to have focus. That's from the YITZCHAK. We have to start getting clearer and clearer. And Balatani is going to give us more and more guidance on this, because the point is what the Tanya is doing, and it's connected to a very similar concept from Eckhart Tolle. You ever read Eckhart Tolle's books, The Power of One or Healing Earth? You should read those books, very important books in the non-Jewish world, in the mainstream world. And one of the reasons why it's so important is it gives you tools how to work with your thoughts, and how to section off, not just to let your thoughts overwhelm you, to have some sort of shlita, some sort of control on the way you think. And that's very connected with the happiness. And that's why it's very important, books, because happiness is very important nowadays. And also tuning into healthy flow in life, and not getting caught up with the negative flows of thinking and being, God forbid, jealous, or all this negative stuff that people can lose themselves over, to be in a positive flow. And that is something which, thank God, there are books that help us. And I think the Balatanya and in the mainstream world, Eckhart Tolle or Stephen Covey, there's certain in modern day, like up-to-date, good, healthy books that can help us process our thoughts. There's my wife and daughter are reading a book with advice from Dr. Peter Vartusky about the positivity bias. Have you heard of that book? It's worth reading also. Positivity bias is basically taking the Rebbe's life, and it wasn't an easy life at all, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and giving us, and I mean he's all the way from the Tanya, and giving us the tools how to apply that positive mindset in our life. So it's giving us a connection, a bridge to connect to the light of the Baba But that's what Reb Bornstein did by writing his book. So anyone who does that is doing a big mitzvah, because they're giving us the ability to connect into a huge tzaddik that had a very...
What's his book number?
It's on the Baba It gives you big chizzuk on connecting to such a light, and it was such a positive light in our generation to give us, and we, even now his legacy is in our generation, and we have to realize there's tools to give us and the Tanya we're going to get invited with Perek 27.
Is
the
book in the library?
No, I don't see it here in the shul. Anyway, now we should learn Machon's learning, and we should have a beautiful, happy week.
Man, look at that, 5 minutes.
Yeah.